So I will respectively disagree, but also agree with some of my colleagues that presented here. But first, there's one inevitable and extremely radical change that we are facing and observing in the market. Of course, this is not, at least for now, no big news here. And first, the AI and the collapsing of the cost of editorial services from thousands of dollars to near zero. So what this means to us is that quality as scale is no longer a publisher's exclusive. POD, or print on demand, which eliminates inventory risk, and global distribution, meaning that we can publish a book in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and at the same instant buy it and deliver it in print in Madrid and Dubai and wherever in the world. But see, the thing is that we're not observing each and every one of these three forces in an isolated manner. To this point in our book history, they come in together. And this also means that there's a world that's ending because of these, or mainly because of these forces. There was a question before by Salman Faridi on what will happen with traditional ecosystems. Well, the traditional, in my view, the traditional ecosystems, meaning the forces around publishing houses that were expert in this market that is in this slide here, they have one choice, which is to adapt. If they do not adapt, they will die. And this is kind of normal in absolutely every market anywhere in time. Ecosystems change, evolution comes, revolutions come. If you don't change with them, if you fight against AI, for example, well, there will be no space for you in the future. So there is it doesn't make any sense for an average time for a manuscript to shelf be from 2 to 3 years, for royalties to be paid in a slow manner, for us publishers to pay a heck of a lot of money to distribute a book globally, for us having 95% of all published content in 10 languages. I mean, this is just an old world, a world that is changing radically. So before we have something around a 1,000 minimum, well, this is several years ago, 1,000 minimum copy print run, $15,000 to $40,000 upfront cash for everything, including the copy and the print and the copy edit, 3 to 6 months lead time, 30 to 40% of returns, warehousing costs forever, and when a book is out of print, it basically disappears. And now, well, with POD, that's not exactly big news, but we do work with a minimum print run of one copy with extremely high quality, zero upfront investment. It's basically free to publish, and I'm speaking about our platform over here, but we're definitely not the only one. 3 to 5 days lead time on it, zero returns, zero waste, no warehousing ever, and it will be in print forever. And it is important to state this, that the print is important. In our data here, we have something, we work with print, with ebooks. We're starting to work with audiobooks over here in Clube de Autores. But regardless, 88% of our sales are in print everywhere in the world, being it in Brazil, in Spain, in Germany, in Portugal, in Mexico, Colombia, wherever we're present. So this is something that didn't really change. What did change is that geography died. The thing is that most publishing markets just didn't notice. So today we have, in Portuguese, we have 265 million speakers. It's the third largest book market in the world. In Spanish, we have a little over 500 million speakers. It's the second most spoken language globally. And what we do allow here is that once someone publishes a book wherever he is or she is, but say in Bogota, this book would be available in Mexico, in Spain, and also in, well, Germany and South Africa, wherever, because we do have this diaspora that's kind of a common trace of our civilization. So we have Portuguese and Spanish speaking peoples all over the globe. And they do not need to buy specifically in our platform. They can buy in Amazon and tons of associations of independent bookstores that buy books from us, and Fnac, and if it is an ebook, and Kobo and Apple Books, they can buy however they want. So the geography was essentially killed. And we, as publishers, need to work with it. We don't need to be restrained to our countries, to our barriers, if we can, for free, make our books available everywhere. But what spices this up and what makes this a lot more beautiful is AI as its great equalizer. So if we wanted to go through all, and these are just like what, one, two, three, five services, including metadata and SEO, market positioning, translation, cover design, editorial analysis. We can go through all of them. If we sum up the costs of building up a book, this will easily go around $50,000. Now, this all costs 1 to 5% of all of this. And I'm talking about all these services done with quality. Our approach to AI is that AI must do the work independently. And by independently, I mean AI needs to understand the author's ethos, vibe, the cultural background behind it, and it needs to do, for example, a translation that respects everything on that without the need for a human translator to work this over. If this doesn't work, then the entire AI theme doesn't work. It needs to be independent, because if it's not, it will not be an effective tool, an effective ecosystem for anyone. And I'm using the example of translation, but I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about there's one service that we have here that's an emotional X-ray that says how much of a page turner a book is, at what point you start losing your reader, what should you do to capture him instead, and so on. And every service that we have in AI, we are a service hub here. Every service we have, we obsessively track NPS, that satisfaction of the reader. We track how much the book performs before and after, if it was published before AI services, or we cross compare it with books in the same genre, but that do not use these kinds of services. We do in-depth interview to the author, and this is all, we do this all to understand if we are being effective, not only cost effective, but quality effective with everything. And the data is in. Today, we deliver something around 600, a little more of 600 different AI editorial service every month. Again, this is copy editing, this is translation, this is book analysis, this is X-ray. We're just starting now with audio conversion to audiobooks. So we have a whole array of services here. 36%, a little over 36% more sales for books that use these AI services, comparable to titles that don't. And this is not just comparable to the entire catalog, but it is comparable to the titles with the same characteristics of the books. So it is a very high sales increase here. And we're not talking just about quantity, and this is very important. We have a 47% raise in positive reviews on AI enhanced titles. So what this means is that we can deliver, and I'm not talking just about us, but the market, today's world, can deliver AI services that are extremely low cost. And just to give an example, a copy edit for a book costs 89 euros. A translation, a little below 100 euros. Well, very little below. It's like 99 euros. So it's extremely low cost services, but that have a proven track record of enhancing sales and of enhancing positive reviews. And how do we feel publishers are dealing with this? And this is quite interesting, because when we first launched our first AI service, this was in the London Book Fair of last year. So it's a very recent initiative. When we first launched, we felt that we were going to be burnt at the stake by other publishers that came around that were critiquing things like, "Oh, you will lose the human soul on the books. Lots of jobs will be lost," and things like that. What we found out was that 68% of all our editorial services are today purchased by publishers, including some of the ones that were and are, by the way, the most vocal public critics of AI in publishing. This does mean, and numerically, the data shows that publishers complain about AI in public, but they use AI in private. It's this is not hypocrisy. It's not a hypocrisy thing. It's just market pressure. Everyone feels so compelled to say that you need someone to some real blood person to hug a book and to give it soul and so on, that people are just afraid to tackle the possibility, the very real possibility that for a very large array of services, AI can do their work by itself. This just doesn't mean that AI will just take on the initiative, wake up someday and say, okay, I want to work in a book. Of course, it does need guidance. It does need guidance from the author or from the publisher. But it's a very simple guidance, a very simple review at the end if you want. But the job will be done. In today, in our world, with the state of the art of the AI algorithms that we have all around, this is just more than possible. We have 17 years, and we do consider this as a market verdict. So inside our platform today, we have over 100,000 authors and publishers that publish their books every day here with us. It's especially in Portuguese and Spanish, but we do have authors and publishers from all over the world. So the gatekeeping lost its powers. We have around 200 books published every day here. So content scarcity, it just doesn't exist anymore. We do distribute in a little over 150 different countries, all with print-on-demand deals all over the world. So wherever you buy, the book will be printed locally and delivered. Muhammad said about the very difficulty that the Arab world faces, for example, in distribution. This is not just the Arab world. Distribution for POD is a very hard problem to tackle. In Latin America, for example, it just does not work. If you want to print a book in Argentina and send it all the way to Colombia, even though it's kind of the same language with just small nuances, the customs will make your life hell. So you do need to print locally. And this is something that already happens. And of course, publishers, authors, everyone can earn royalties that are, a lot better, from 20 all the way to 50%. That's what we register here. A lot better than a normal landscape. So we do have a market here where the infinite bookshelf is already happened. So author writes in any language, anywhere on earth, zero inventory waste. AI enhances, it edits, it translates, it does the cover, it does the metadata. Actually, for the cover is the only one thing that we haven't tackled with very much success today. So the AI does a lot of magic with text, but it's still kind of some steps behind in visual creation, at least in our perspective here, but it should change recently. We do translate to around 80 different languages today, but we do mostly for 50 different languages. We have POD that live lists titles in 24 hours everywhere in the world, and we have a world that reads wherever. This is the largest untapped market in publishing. So Mohammed said again about Arabic speaking, and I'm saying this because out of just plain curiosity, I just listed that we have 420 million speakers of Arabic. It's 2% of global digital publishing content. So there is a huge market over there. It just does not make sense that 95% of all published content are restricted to 10 languages when we have around 7,000 different spoken languages on our planet. So yes, AI translation does make all of this publishable, but it's not just about the translation. Imagine the amount of different cultural stories. I mean, we have stories here that were written by indigenous tribes in the middle of the Amazon, and that today are being read in German by German spread wherever. So this kind of cultural discovery from places all over the world is what enriches all of our culture. So this is something that AI thrives in aiding in on basically opening up new opportunities for everyone. We think of calling all of this like niche markets, this tiny markets all around. But the thing is, they are not exactly niche. You cannot call Arabic market a niche market when we have over 400 million speakers. The same thing, you cannot combine Portuguese and Spanish that alone account for 760 million speakers all over the world, something of a niche. There are no niches anymore in our world. You just need to tackle it a lot better. And for us, what we are looking into as the next wave is an AI publishing agent. So we can assist the writer with the draft. We can assist the writer copy editing, preserving their voices, and doing consistency checks. We already do this here. We can kind of package all of this, and this includes the cover, the metadata, the ISBN, the blurb, the keyword strategy, and so on. We can translate everything to in a literary grade quality and also voice matched. We can distribute. I mean, all of this we can do, and we do in our day-to-day life here independently. There is a market that's something that Nadim already does today very well. But these are all AI services. We can paste them together and use an agent to accompany the author from the idea of writing a novel all the way to marketing it and to basically collecting his royalties. So this marketing, this 100% space filling AI publishing agent is what we regard here as the next wave for writers and for writers and publishers. And now, who survives this? If you have AI that can do so much, if you already have POD that can eliminate so much harm in the traditional model, if you can already distribute everything, who survives this gigantic shift and how to survive it? In our view, there's only one way, that is to embrace everything instead of fearing everything. In all the changes that humankind went through in all different markets, what killed people was fear. So it just makes no point to fear AI, for example, or technology, and just work against it. It will just drown you eventually. So we need to embrace AI as editorial infrastructure. We need to adopt POD. We need to build distribution across the more channels that we can. We need to serve the languages markets that are underserved, like Arabic, for example. We need to give authors economics that keep them loyal, and we need to stop regarding change in years and starting to move in months, if not weeks. So if we wait, we drown. What we need to do is just to find all this vast array of new opportunities that appear in all the talks that we had so far. Tons of opportunities were spilled around all the presentations. So we just need to embrace it, find all the different niches or the different well opportunities that we have in it, and work them out. There's a lot of things that can be done. It's just our job to do it, to polish them, and to do it with quality. So this is basically us. This is basically what we plan to do in this very near future, from 12 to 24 months and all the way to 5 years, which is also kind of a a faraway dream 5 years from now, because no one really knows what will happen to the world until then. It's just some kind of a guide, but we do try to change and to understand the changes that are regardless of us every couple of months, just to set our compass straight. And what all of this means is that the boat has already left the dock. So AI, POD, and global distribution, they did not ask permission to change publishing. They just did. And the ones who will thrive in the future are not the ones who resisted the longest, but the ones who moved first, which probably includes all of us here, because this is a talk about the future. I mean, no one would be here if not interested in what's happening and how to change together with the times that we're living. And with this, I thank you very much. This is my contact, and I'm open to anything they want.
Thank you, Ricardo, for sharing data-driven insights from your experience so far. And we hope the future, as you said, lies in developing an end-to-end publishing agent, from drafting to distribution to marketing and everything. Interesting time to watch out. Before we close, I think we have two questions. Sort of, I'll ask it in a single question, combine it. So, do you involve humans too in all the services that you mentioned, or is it just plain AI? And if it is
It's
just
plain.
plain AI, how do you ensure the quality? Because a lot of times they fall uh, largely short of what is required.
Okay. Well, it is plain AI. And it's not just like we have a Claude account and we upload a book and just ask with a couple of prompts do it. So it's a reasonably complex AI infrastructure that we have here. First thing we do, we extract the main. Well, we read the book. The AI reads the book, extracts the main points, describes the author's voice in it. Then it starts doing the culture that it's mirrored in, or that it's aimed at. For example, if it is a translation, to where? If it is a copy editing, where is the author from, and where does he means to focus it? And then we do have a temperature setting that how much AI can change of the story. It's not meant to change the story, of course, obviously, but it also does not need or can just maintain the exact literal translation. So this starts the process. There is a lot of loops going back and forth, just making sure of consistencies, that everything is taken care of before we send the book to the author. When we send the book to the author, we send a file of it edited. We sent a very complete spreadsheet with every change that was made and why it was made, and then the author can work by himself. So it is AI, but it is a very complex framework of AI tools.
Okay. It's not a plain AI, but very customized and
Yeah,
specific to the requirement. Thank you,
yeah.
Ricardo, for the presentation.